This is Plant-Based Briefing. Processed meats linked to cancer, heart disease, diabetes. Now dementia is on the list. By Nicole Axworthy at vegnews.com. And I'm Marian Erickson, host of this curated content plant-based podcast, where I narrate a variety of articles on plant-based and vegan living from dozens of organizations and individuals who have given me permission to do so. Today's is from Vegnews. They're the largest vegan media brand in the world. They have a best-selling plant-based magazine. They create amazing content from food and fashion to travel, celebrity interviews, beauty and health info. They have a meal planner, and their website is just a great resource. And I also recommend following them on social media as well. And if you're listening on YouTube, take a second and give a quick thumbs up. And now let's get to today's plant-based briefing. Processed meats linked to cancer, heart disease, diabetes. Now dementia is on the list. By Nicole Axworthy at vegnews.com. A growing body of research shows that eating too much ultraprocessed foods, UPFs, including processed meats such as hot dogs and deli slices, poses health risks for humans. Now, a new study published in the American Medical Association's medical journal, JAMA Neurology, shows evidence that UPFs are linked to an increased risk of cognitive decline. UPFs consist of highly processed food components such as oils, fats, sugars, starches, and protein isolates. In addition to these ingredients, UPFs also often consist of artificial flavorings, colorings, emulsifiers, and other cosmetic additives. In addition to processed meats, other examples of common UPFs include sweet and savory snacks, ready-to-eat frozen meals, and sugar-sweetened beverages. Link between processed foods and cognitive decline. In the multi-center prospective cohort study, 10,775 participants between the ages of 35 and 74 were recruited from 6 different cities throughout Brazil, including Belo Horizonte, Porto Alegre, Rio de Janeiro, Salvador, Sao Paulo, and Vitória. Data from the study participants was collected in 3 waves approximately 4 years apart between 2008 and 2017. The study participants provided information on the frequency with which they consumed different food and drink products daily. These food products were classified in 4 groups according to the extent of their industrial processing, and the researchers grouped participants based on UPF consumption and according to their overall diet. They scored all participants based on how closely they followed the MIND diet, a cross between the Mediterranean diet and the DASH diet that aims to reduce the risk of dementia and the decline in brain health by emphasizing consumption of whole plants such as leafy greens, berries, nuts, olive oil, and whole grains, and include fish and chicken. As part of the study, participants underwent cognitive assessments up to 3 times every 4 years. These assessments included memory tests such as immediate and late recall and recognition wordless tests, as well as semantic and phonemic verbal fluency tests to assess the participants' executive function abilities. The study found that participants with a daily diet that comprised more than 19.9% UPFs experienced a 28% faster rate of global cognitive decline. More specifically, these individuals experienced a 25% faster rate of executive function decline, with no significant change observed in their memory function. Notably, study participants who were younger than 60 years old were more likely to experience global cognitive decline compared to those aged 60 years or older who consumed similarly high levels of UPFs in their daily diet. The researchers hypothesized that this decline in executive function could be due to cerebrovascular lesions caused by the chronic consumption of UPFs. Consumption of UPFs may also increase the circulation of pro-inflammatory factors that subsequently lead to systemic inflammation that affects the brain. Quote, a higher percentage of daily energy consumption of ultra-processed foods was associated with cognitive decline among adults from an ethnically diverse sample, unquote, the study concluded. Quote, these findings support current public health recommendations on limiting ultra-processed food consumption because of their potential harm to cognitive function, unquote. Health risks of processed meats. This study adds to a growing body of research about the health impacts of UPFs. Another study published earlier this year in the medical journal The BMJ found that high consumption of UPFs comes with an increased risk of colorectal cancer in men. Notably, the research from Tufts University and Harvard University found the strongest association between colorectal cancer and ultra-processed foods among men came from meat, poultry, and fish products. In the study, the researchers found that men who consumed high rates of UPFs were at 29% higher risk for developing colorectal cancer the third most diagnosed cancer in the United States, than men who consumed much smaller amounts, they did not find the same association in women. Similarly, another study published last year in the journal Nature Food found that eating just one animal-based hot dog could cost consumers 36 minutes of healthy life. The study also found that while the greatest reduction in lifespan was attributed to hot dogs, burgers, breakfast sandwiches, and sugary drinks, conversely, plant-based foods such as fruits, cooked grains, ready-to-eat cereals, and non-starchy mixed vegetables resulted in the largest gains in lifespan. You just listened to Processed Meats Linked to Cancer, Heart Disease, Diabetes, Now Dementia is on the List by Nicole Axworthy at vegnews.com. And I'm your host, Marian Erickson. Please share this episode with anyone who might benefit, and thanks for listening.